Hi, I'm SoCal Honey Badger, and that was my intro.
Alright everybody, what's going on? I'm gonna start something a little bit different today. I've normally been doing tutorials on fighting game fundamentals. I want to start branching out into more character guides, but I'm not gonna go too in-depth. This is more of a starter kit. If you're just starting with Mortal Kombat, and you're just starting with a specific character, these are going to be the 5 most important moves you need to know in order to be effective, and then why you need to know them. I'm going to go through and start doing this with every character. These are all going to be base moves that are on every variation. They're not necessarily going to be variation-specific moves. So it doesn't matter which version of the character you want to play. These are 5 moves you want to keep in mind. So we're going to start with today, of course, my main, Kung Lao. I know a little bit more about him than probably most everybody. And these are the moves that, if you use these moves properly, you can build your entire strategy around that and not need to know much else. Obviously, you'll want to branch out into the rest of the command list afterwards, but these 5 moves are the base point. These are your jumping off point, all right? So the first move, the most important move for Kung Lao, is going to be forward 1. That move. Forward 1 is a fast advancing mid with 2 follow-ups, but the reason why you want to use it is because it's a fast advancing mid. If we look at the move list here, forward 1 starts up in 10 frames. 10 frames is a very, very important distinction for a fast mid. The fastest mids are going to be 9 frames. So this isn't the fastest mid, but it is on the fast end of the scale, and it's advancing. He moves forward when he does it. What this move does is it allows you to bypass mashing, right? So if somebody's in your face and they're just kind of doing this, right? You can do that, and if they're going to start mashing, right? So if you block a poke, you go right into that. If they're mashing, that's going to catch them and interrupt them. And because it's a mid that goes into strings, it has follow-ups, you don't have to worry about a jail, right? You don't have to sit there and hit a down poke and then 1-2. You could just say, okay, your poke was blocked, it's my turn, now you die, right? This is a very, very important thing in Mortal Kombat that you will find because people like to just mash down pokes all the time. It has 2 follow-ups. Forward 1-2 gives you a hard knockdown, not a whole lot of damage. And forward 1-3, which can also go further into forward 1-3 up 2. Forward 1-2 is the one you're going to be using the most often. Because it is borderline safe. So forward 1-2, you see it is, oh, I got my chat up. Let me get my chat blocked. There we go. You can probably see that better now. Forward 1-3 is -7. So it's still punishable, but it's not punishable by much. Because he kind of ducks down a little bit when he does it. A lot of jabs will whiff, though characters like Liu Kang and Sub-Zero can punish it. Liu Kang can get a full jab combo. Sub-Zero can get it down 1. But their timing has to be very precise. It's very, very strict timing to be able to punish this move. So you can kind of throw it out willy-nilly and be safe. And if you want, you can just not throw it out and stagger the forward 1, right? So you can kind of just throw this out left and right over and over. And they have to guess whether or not you're going to finish the string and where you're going to finish the string. And that opens up your ability to grab them. The other follow-up, forward 1-3. This is going to be your main hit confirm, right? So it's 3 hits. 1, 2, 3. That gives you 3 hits to know whether or not you're going to meter burn into spin. Boom. Or cancel into spin meter burn for a full combo. Do note, though, that this move is death on block. It is forward 1-3, -19. So if you throw it out there and you don't have some kind of follow-up to follow after it, you will be punished. You will die. Now, that doesn't mean you don't use this move. That means you use this move sparingly. There are different ways you can protect yourself with it. One of the ways is if you're in Lotus Fist, you can do forward 1-3 orbital hat. Orbital hat's -4, so you end up being safe. Or you can do what a lot of people, if you're not playing Lotus Fist, you can do forward 1-3 up 2 to finish it. Do note that that last hit is a high. So if you do forward 1-3 and they look to punish it, they don't have time to react to the third hit. So that high will catch their punish attempt. And so it becomes a guessing game of is he going to finish the string, is he not? If you do the high, they can neutral duck it and then punish you that way. If they try to punish forward 1-3, you can catch them with the high. Or you can just go full unga bunga, do forward 1-3, spin, and then burn it afterwards to try and catch them. The other safe way to continuing this string as a follow-up, forward 1-3, and you can throw orbital hat, or not orbital hat, you can do a hat toss. Again, that is also a high. It is safe on block, but you're not going to get much damage out of it, and they can still duck it just like the up 2. The only difference between finishing with the hat toss is the combo off the hat toss, 145, combo off of the up 2. Well, they do the same damage. I mean, there's really no, you can interchange them either way, but the hat toss will catch people crouch blocking, right? So if they're crouch blocking, they have to neutral duck to avoid the hat toss, but if they're blocking, the hat toss is going to still touch them, whereas the up 2 will whiff on certain characters. Not every character, but characters with smaller hitboxes like Johnny Cage and like Kano, pretty much all of the females, except for Shiva, I guess. The up 2 will still whiff even if they're blocking. All right, the next most important move for Kung Lao is going to be his down 4. It's a very fast, low poke. The key to this move is that it has range. Kung Lao, very bad in mid-range. I mean, you have that, which starts out very slow, right? And it's 3 highs, so they can duck under it. Sub-Zero could just slide if he thinks you're going to do that. And you have this, which is unsafe. Don't do forward 2-1, like, ever. Unless you're Lotus Fist and you have some sort of orbital hat or some sort of follow-up, doing that string in the neutral is death if you guess wrong. So in the neutral, you're kind of stuck with this, and this is going to be your primary spacing tool. The range isn't that great. As you can see, from start, it whiffs. Even taking a step forward, right, it still whips. You kind of got to get pretty deep in there. But down 4 is going to be your main long range, well, for Kung Lao, mid-range move. You want to harass them with that, and you want to poke them with that. This will interrupt a lot of stuff. You can stop Devora's forward 1-3. You can stop Johnny Cage's forward 3-4-4. A lot of advancing highs get stopped by this move. So when you're sitting here and you're fighting someone that has an advancing high, you can do that. So as you can see, we have Sub-Zero here, and he's going to do that, and then block, right? And I can just keep him out with that. Very important move in Kung Lao's repertoire. Next important move is also a low poke, and it's down 3. This move, this little kick. That move is fast. It interrupts a lot of stuff in the close range, especially when you're mashing out pokes. This move, down 3 is a little bit better than down 1. So if you look at the frame data, down 1, 7-frame startup gives you 11-frame advantage. Down 3, 7-frame startup, this gives you 10 frames of hit advantage. The difference between down 3 and down 1 is that down 3 is a low. Down 1 can be blocked standing. Down 3 has to be blocked crouching. So that little property right there makes down 3 a little bit better than down 1 in the mashing poke war. They have the same startup. Down 1 gives you more damage and more hit advantage, but they can block it standing. So you want to use down 3. If they're going for a jail, right, they hit a poke and then they go right into their jab string, but you blocked the poke, you can stop them with the down 3. And then you can jail further into yours, or you can go for your forward 1. It is plus 10, so you can frame trap them with that. Down 3 is just a very, very important move for Kung Lao. It starts your offense, and it stops their offense. All right? Next most important move for Kung Lao is back grab. So Kung Lao is almost like a flippy flying grappler character. He's like, imagine if Zangief, oh look, I'm getting messages. Killjoy, you're going to be on YouTube, dude. Think of him as a flippy flying Zangief, right? Kung Lao's grab game is very, very, very strong because he has an advancing mid, right? That move starts up in 10 frames, and his grab, universally all grabs start up in 10 frames. So Kung Lao, once he gets inside here, 10 frames is at the unseeable range. So you're literally guessing. and you have to flip a coin and guess whether he's going to go for the fast mid that can lead to a combo, or a grab, which doesn't lead to a combo. But what's important about back grab is back grab leaves you in range for another back grab. So you can actually just loop this over and over and over. I have won matches where all I did was dash in, grab, dash in again, grab again. Eventually they'll stop blocking and start looking for, you know, the grab. They're like, oh man, forget this guy. All he's doing is grabbing me. So they're going to neutral duck to try and blow it up, and that's when you go for the full combo. So every time Kung Lao gets in close, it's a 50-50 guess. It's literally a coin toss. You can't react to it. You just have to guess whether or not he's going to grab or hit you with a fast mid. And you have to make the decision of whether or not you want to risk getting blown up by a combo for a third of your health, or you want to get thrown into a potential throw loop that he can loop several times that could potentially take more than a third of your health. It's the reason why Kung Lao is so nerve-wracking whenever you fight him. Because at any moment, as soon as he gets inside, you're just flipping a coin as to whether or not he's going to hit you or grab you. And his grabs lead into more grabs, and they also lead into more hits and things like that. Last most important move for Kung Lao is going to be this move, forward 4. Now, it's a very slow mid. If you look at forward 4, it starts up in 14 frames. That's very, very slow. It also has very crappy range. Like, you're not going to be like doing this move in the nooch. What this move does is it's a very, very it's a very, very strong mid that will stop them. That's safe and quasi hit confirmable. You do have to hit confirm the first hit to get a hit confirm into a combo. If you wait for the second hit to dial in your special move, it's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to hit confirm off the second hit. You have to learn and practice hit confirming off of the first hit, which is very, very hard. But when you have Kung Lao in your face, right, and you have to guess now mid or grab, right? If you are not Lotus Fist, this is not very safe. If they guess right and they block, they can punish that. And again, we already went over the follow-ups to that they can also punish as well if they read those coming. Whereas, if I get them into a knockdown situation, I can go in and I can go for that. And if they guessed right and they blocked, forward 4 is -3. So my turn is over. I can't follow up from forward 4, but they can't really punish me, and I don't have to play a guessing game of which mix-up am I going to do afterwards, which follow-up am I going to do afterwards. I can just throw out forward 4 on their wake-up, and if they didn't do an up 3 or a delay, then I'm going to catch them, and they're either going to have to block it or they're going to have to take it. One of those two things. So this is a way for you to keep things safe while keeping your pressure up if you're not Lotus Fist and you don't have access to Orbital Hat to keep forward 1-3 safe, and you can go for a full combo. Another thing that forward 4 is good for, it is also your most damaging combo extender. So when you do things like that. So that's like Kung Lao's like optimal combo off of the 2-1-2 is forward 4. Especially in the corner, he can loop several forward 4s into several spins. So it is your most damaging combo filler. So that would be his final most important moves. And those would be Kung Lao's 5 most important moves. If you can learn those, live those, and understand those, and use them properly, you are well on your way to being like the second best Kung Lao in the world. Because number 1, that's already taken, gentlemen and ladies and question marks. Anyways, I'm the Badger. Like, subscribe, comment, all that shit, and I'm going to get at you later, all right?
Hey, so, if you follow YouTube enough, you know that they like to put weird stuff all over the screen for the last 30 seconds. So this is going to fill that space. Yeah. Yeah. It's probably right there and there. All over the place right now. Yeah, go ahead and click that stuff if you want. And that's 30 seconds.